So I thrive and I move with the spirit. It wasn't until I stepped back and said, what is my purpose and what does God want me to do? And and beginning to think about it from that perspective and walking in that is how I've gained so much richness in meeting people like Lisa and others of you who are on this event tonight. So commanding your life, what does that look like? First, it starts with your mindset. Look at, I hope you have your goals that you had, because I was on the workshop a few weeks ago. And so I know that we were challenged to have the SMART goals and have all these things down. And I hope you have it in front of you. But the question I want to ask you tonight is, have you stepped back and asked God, really, what is your purpose? Is this your plan for my life? And if
Mm.
you're walking in that plan and that purpose, then everything is going to be fine, regardless of what you have on that paper, it will come to pass. But there are some things that you have to do to have
Mm.
them to come to pass. So I think the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, who am I going to serve with this goal? Oftentimes people talk about wanting to have this amount of money or have, this particular lifestyle, this vehicle, this house, live in this neighborhood. But if you step back and ask yourself, who am I going to serve with this product that I have, with this consultant business that I have, whatever it is that you are doing, even with your job, it's who are you going to serve? Because if you come from this place of servant leadership, servanthood, really giving back, you're really going to be a lot further along in accomplishing those goals and commanding your life, because your life is coming out of a place of one, gratitude, and a place of service. And so, how do you know when you kind of reach that, when you reach that place? It will become very clear to you. I have written goals down that came from my head, and I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't prayed about it. I hadn't really asked, what is my purpose? We're talking years ago now, because I've been walking in my purpose for over 30 years now. But think about it. If you have come to a point in your life where you say, okay, this event is all about people who are strivers, who have survived some tragedy or something in their life. And now we're about to catapult you to the next place and really change the trajectory of your life. It's think about starting with a place of gratitude. Where have I come from? Never forget your history, because your history is going to give voice and give rise to the power that's within you. And that is so, so key. Secondly, I'm going to ask you, what's standing in your way? If you've done all the things that I've just talked about, you
That's
know what your purpose is.
that's
You
key.
you know you're on point. You know exactly what it is that you need to be doing. You have it on paper, and you just need to get over that hump. What's stopping you? What's
I like
standing in
that.
your way? And I want you to sit with that for a minute.
Are you
What's
talking like obstacles? Like if
Yeah,
I was to say barriers, like I
what
think
what's standing in your way?
sometimes it's us.
And that's many times what it is.
Self
It's that
sabotage.
self-sabotage, the conversations that we have, the I'm not enough, the fear that we have to make the sales call, to ask someone for something. I was in that situation where I was a person that I always gave. I'm a giver. So I would always give, 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 but I was always afraid to ask for what I needed.
Wow.
Now, let me just tell you, that's interesting for a person who is a full-time fundraiser. But I'm talking about my personal. I can ask for money
You
and raise millions of dollars
for
for the
someone else.
organizations that I support. But if I needed something, no, 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 no. So that was the key for me, understanding what was standing in my way, and it was me. It was the fears that I had, it was the conversations that I was having with myself. And really, it boiled down to caring about other people's opinions.
Yep.
And it wasn't until I heard someone at a training had this illustration, and he had a big picture on the board, and it was a picture of a dollar bill, and in the middle of it didn't have, I think it was $100 bill, but it had other people was the pictures, other people's opinions. And he said, you can't take other people's opinions to the bank. And that just like resonated with me. Simple concept, but it shook me to the core and helped me to understand that everything that I was doing was standing in my way of achieving what I wanted to achieve with my business. Um, my business, in the early years, we started in the fundraising, doing events,
I
large scale
remember.
events. Yeah, the United Nations, and we did an
Yes.
event at the Hilton in Cairo, Egypt, on the Nile. You know, we traveled the world doing these events, and all of these events were for major politicians, celebrities, and you name it. But I was raising all this money for other people. Now, it was great because I would get 10% of everything that we raised, so that's a great living. But it wasn't enough because I'm such a giver and such a tither. If people here know what that means, I don't know. I don't want to presume that everybody here is Christian. So a lot of my resources went back into the ministry, back into the work, because I just believe that to who much is given, much is required. And so I started kind of on that journey. So what do you want out of life? And write it down. Be specific. Take the goals and set them to the side, and just spend some time with yourself, really going deep dive. What do you want in life? Not your husband, not your children, not your mom, and not your daddy. What do you want? If you came to the end of your life and you look back, what do you want to have seen as your accomplishment? Lisa said it the other night. What do you want your legacy to be? Now we're going to move quickly to the next phase. The personality traits and the habits and the values that you must have to achieve your goals, you need to understand what they are. You need to understand your personality trait. You need to understand who you work well with. You need to understand your love language. You need to understand all those things that will help form who you are. So when you walk into a boardroom, when you walk into a bank, when you walk into a situation where you're needing to um, have someone else assist you in reaching your goal, you have to understand how to walk that walk with confidence. And the only way that you'll be able to walk that walk with confidence is clearly knowing who you are, owning your power, and clearly articulating your purpose. I'm going to go move to some other notes that I have here. So now let's just talk about some tactics. So I love that Lisa posted kind of the SMART goals. She gave us all these worksheets to work on. I've done those things years ago. I'm not necessarily a fan of them now, because I just don't need it now. That's just not my season. And I'm not saying that they're bad tools, particularly if you're just starting on this journey of, writing your goals and putting those things down. That's really key. One of the things I want you to understand, however, is that you want to make sure that your goals are measurable. You want to make sure that if you have a 12-year goal, by the end of this year, Solutions Matter would have grossed $500,000. That's our goal. Okay, so what does it take to get to $500,000 for our ministry? And so I have to take that in. I do 12-week cycles. In 12-week cycles, we know exactly where we are, not only for the financial goal, but every tactic that we need to do to get there. So what do I mean? You want to have some kind of planner. You want to have some kind of calendar. I have a daughter who is an entrepreneur, and I love it when I go into her space. She has, calendars and stickies, and I walk in there and it's like a war room. You're like, like it's amazing because she has these clients listed out, and it just knows exactly each and every day what needs to what needs to happen for her to accomplish that task or that goal. So you have to be very strategic. And the thing about it is, this is not a lazy woman's game. Yes, we get moody. Yes, we want to lay in the bed. Yes, we want to do, whatever. But what I'm going to say to you is, if you are serious about taking your life to the next level, you can't binge Netflix all weekend. You can't do all of the things that aren't getting you to where you want to go. You just can't. They're lovely ideas, but I don't know the last time I really, well, yes, I do. It was over the Christmas holidays that I binged several shows because it was a holiday. I didn't have any work. And so I don't let like TV or movies and those things dictate my life. What a wonderful invention, the DVR. What a wonderful invention, being able to stream things later. Don't get caught up into, I need to go week to week watching this or that show, because you don't. You can watch it later,
That's true.
because you need to really focus on, what do you want to, what is that going to help you get to the goals and achieve that. So I'm going to give you 3 or 4 more points, and I'm going to open it up for questions. So what I talked to you about was having that 12-week goal. So with me, I have a morning routine. And so the morning routine can be anything for anyone, but you need to develop a morning routine. So if you don't get anything else out of anything I said, commanding your morning, and actually if you get this book, or she may be on video, Dr. Cindy Trim has a book called Commanding Your Morning. And I think it's a video and audio as well. You need to understand how important your morning sets you up for success or failure for the rest of the day. So that's the most important thing, because regardless of what you stuck on your sticky board, what you written down, what's on your vision board that you're looking at, if you haven't commanded your morning and have a solid, unbreakable, unshakable routine that's going to set you up for success each day, you're going to go year after year, coming to workshops after workshops, and look at, I've not moved. Why am I not moving? And I'm talking to you because this is the conversation that I had with myself until I had the breakthrough. And it's just so, you look back and I kind of laugh, but I don't want you to be me. I want you to take control of your day, have a morning routine. And so what does that look like? And so let me just pull out my morning routine and just run it down to you. Because it really could be anything that you want, but I think that it's really important that you have one. And so you might want to start with writing your 12-week goal after you've had your prayer. So I start with, morning breathing. I do meditation. I'll do 30 minutes of some kind of vigorous exercise to get my, adrenaline going and everything. Definitely, of course, have my prayer and things like that. I don't put anything in my system but water first thing. So I'm not doing, coffee and sometimes we think we got to get that pick me up. You have to break that fast with water. Basic stuff, just really simple things. And then from there, after you've done whatever that is in your morning routine, having meditation, having a time of, my favorite one, my morning affirmations. So important. Oh, so I do that. And I also do visualization. And I visualize what I want what my day to look like. So I've already spoken to God. I've already prayed. I've already said, God, this is your day. You're in control of this day. Whatever happens, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to show up and be everything that you've called me to be, and let you do the rest. And then you just visualize your day, what that day might look like. And then I write my 12-week goals every day, because you have to see it, you have to feel it, you have to taste it. Write it every day. So get a blank book, whatever you have, you know what your annual goal is, but what is it going to take you? And that's through Lisa's workshop with the SMART goals, but break it down to those snippets and write your 12-week goal every morning. And then you're going to write down what you're grateful for. Write it down every morning. What are the 5 things that you're grateful for? Then you're going to write down the 5 most important things you want to accomplish this day. Now notice, we're not thinking about what didn't happen yesterday, what failure, what we, didn't do. We're not beating ourselves up. We're showing up and being present in this day. So
I
you're
like
starting with
that.
that visualization, a prayer, and all those different things, but you're going to make sure that you write down what are your 5 targets. I call them targets because these are 5 things that I need to do today to be closer to my 12-week goal.
Mm-hmm.
And in that,
Thank you.
the next step is, who do I need to connect with today? Because obviously there is some person that's going to be pivotal to your success. So if it's, if you're in sales, or if you're, marketing, whatever it is, you're trying to get new clients, you need to talk to your clients, you need, whatever it is, write down who are the people that you need to connect with this day. And then you want to make sure that you then have your plan. And so your plan is just kind of looking at your calendar, what's already on the calendar, what are the things that are, you'll start seeing some stuff that's already self-populated because you're doing this 12-week plan. And then finally, here is the key. That's one of the things that's so refreshing when you get into this routine and it becomes a part of you. I went through a boot camp with Todd Steidemeyer. Todd Steidemeyer is like a 5-time, what do you call a baseball championship, people? I don't know anything about sports. What do you call World Series? World Series. So he has this book out called Relentless. And he did a boot camp a couple of years ago called Relentless Success. And I went to the boot camp and it was brutal. But that's a conversation for another time. If you want to know, just hit me up and I'll tell you. But it was awesome. And one of the things that he talked about after we kind of did none of this stuff was his big piece was your daily reflection at the end of the day.
I like that.
So your daily reflection is, what are my 3 big wins? So your wins will be, did you complete your morning routine? Did you do your gratitude? Did you write out your 5 targets? Did you have a plan? Did you connect with the people that you wrote down that you would connect with? And then, not all of us are gonna, and not every day you're going to get there. So you're gonna say, what do I need to improve on? What are my daily improvements? What do I need to improve on? So let me give you an example of my life. I can have some great stuff going on, but you heard Lisa say I'm a full-time caregiver for my 84-year-old mother. And there are days that she needs me. So I might get sidetracked. I might not have that, no more time in the day to get done what I needed to do. Do I beat myself up? Absolutely not. But I need to write it down. I need to improve on how to better manage, whatever that crisis was. So, how can I navigate through that and doing some things. And then I write down 3 power words. And the 3 power words I really take into the next day was, for me today was focus, gratitude, and determination. My power words change every day and yours should too, but come up with 3 power words. And then you want to, at your end of your day reflection, Ask yourself if you operated in your power. Did you operate from your daily power words? How did they show up? How did your daily power words manifest themselves today? Because when you declared them, when you wrote out your script for the day, then you'll get to reflect on kind of the power of that. It's just such an amazing walk. So I've been doing this process now for 2 years, and it's just been incredible to hold myself accountable to command my day. Because when I'm in control of my day that match up with the goals that I set, and so we call them short term, mine are called 12 weeks. And then to get to my long term, which is the annual, it's a powerful place. You operate from a very powerful place. And you are not subject to all the noise around you because you are so completely focused. And it doesn't give you the leisure and the opportunity to entertain frivolous things.
Distractions.
I know, distractions. I'm allergic to distractions now.
Yes, distractions.
Super focused. So with that, I've said a lot, and I can't see anybody's face.
I know everybody's got their camera off. I don't know why. Y'all usually, when we all together, all of a sudden now y'all hiding.
Or comments. If people are journeying like this, maybe they have, things they want to add. But yeah.
Oh my God, Sharon, I can't even, I'm going to go back to the beginning because there's so much. And you guys throw your stuff in the comments, and you guys in the Zoom throw it in the chat box, or just unmute yourself and ask the question. But I'm going to go back and summarize because there's so much that you unpacked. And for those who came on late, this is Reverend Sharon Jones, who is an entrepreneur, pastor, all around fundraiser strategist. What I guess I didn't tell you guys, when I say she's accomplished, when I first met Sharon 20 something years ago, she was living in Harlem and Hamilton Terrace, very upscale area. She was working for Riverside Church, which is a very historic church in New York City. And I actually got to meet, you never get to meet the pastor of those big mega churches, but she knows everybody and anybody in New York City. I also was at one of her, I used to work with her on her fundraisers. And I don't know if y'all remember the show Amen with, what was her name? The daughter who played Amen. The daughter who played on that show Amen. Anyway, she did a fundraiser for the Bible, what's his name? The church, the man who, Norman Vincent Peale. You did their fundraiser for Norman Vincent Peale and all the who's who of New York faith-based organization and churches was there. And Anne-Marie Horsford that was her name, from Amen. She was the keynote speaker, and Sharon did fundraisers that's the magnitude of the fundraisers. She did it for mega organization, international organization. So when I say she's accomplished. So I'm very grateful to know her personally. But she does so much. So I'm going to unpack what you said. And if you guys have questions, please throw it in the chat box or in here. But I love what you said about command your life. Who am I? What is my goal? Who am I? What is my, what do I want out of life? What is my purpose? I remember years ago when you and my cousin Denise, so I don't know if it's on today, we were talking about purpose. And I remember saying out loud, I know what my purpose is. And I think you or Denise told me, they said, if you know it, you don't have to speak it out loud. I'll never forget you said that. I was like, okay. I was like, I know what my purpose is. And you said, if you know it, you never have to speak it out loud to anybody else. But you did talk about commanding your life and gratitude and service. I like the part about what is going to serve whatever I want in life. So when you're saying that, when we're asking for things like going back to school, for instance, or starting my own business or writing that book, that we should really be looking at how does that serve others, human beings, things of that nature, other human beings. So I never thought that in that aspect of goal setting, like how is this going to serve others? So that's what you're saying, that when we're looking at setting goals for ourselves, we should always look at how is that going to benefit not only ourselves, but others.
Yeah, I just believe that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just believe that we're here for a purpose, and we're here to be in service to humanity and in service to others. Now, there are people in the society that, are here only to serve themselves, and we bless them as well because they do have a place and a purpose. But yeah, just to come out of this place of not only gratitude, but how am I going to make a difference? What is what I'm doing going to make a difference to help other people?
Okay.
Um, and it really just helps us to go back to look at the legacy. What kind of legacy am I leaving?
I like that. So Kim, one of my friends, Kim, is asking, and I think you answered it, and that's what I wrote down. Kim said, any recommendation on keeping the internal motivation? I think you answered that because I wrote that here when you said the three daily reflection. What are your big wins? Is that how you keep motivated, by these daily reflections and then these power words? Is that the motivation?
So yeah, all of that is. I think for me personally, the motivations are living from a place of gratitude and not taking for granted. I have been abundantly blessed, both financially, the places I've lived, where I've traveled, all of those things. But I also have been in some of the worst situations and environments on the planet, and went there and traveled there and served and did all of those things. And so I have to come from a place of gratitude. We all do. Let's think about our friends in Texas right now.
Yeah.
I'm working with a group that's based in Texas, and everyone's affected. And so we can be in our nice house, and I have lights, I have heat, I have everything that I need. But until we really get that human connection, that we are all connected, then our lives will be so much richer.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. What about some of us need a more of accountability, external motivation. Not everybody's intrinsically motivated. Some people are extrinsically motivated. What would you recommend for people who are not intrinsically motivated that way?
So glad you asked that question. It's absolutely essential that you have an accountability partner. And that is someone that you pray about and you just ask God to send you, or you just call a friend and say, look, I have this goal. And this goal is, for my company to have $500,000 by December 31st. I have 2 or 3 accountability partners, and just get that person that's going to check in with you. They're not your babysitter. They're not any of that, but someone that you can brainstorm with, and they'll ask you some tough questions, but having that in your life, a person like that or people like that will definitely help to keep you motivated, because they're not there to shame you. They're there to hold you accountable. Well, Lisa, didn't you say that you wanted to do XYZ? Well, how can I, let me be a sounding board. What's going on? And I think that really, really helps you to be accountable to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely believe in that. If you not even have an accountability point, hire a coach. Like, if
Mhm.
you're looking for a new career, like that's what I do. I'm a career coach.
Yeah, yeah,
Hire me to help you, do that area. So if you don't have anybody to hold you accountable, then maybe it's time to go to the next step and get a coach, whether it's a business coach, a career coach, health coach, to help you with your, diet needs or exercise. People hire what are
exactly.
personal trainers. So those are what they do. They hold you accountable and they help you get to the next level. Yes, that I agree with you, Rosa. The other thing that you said on here that was really that resonated with me again is those uh you really have a whole routine down. And I love what you said, getting up early. That's why they say the early bird catches the worm. I know a lot of people that I know who are doing a lot of things that really are successful, to be honest with you. They all get up very early in the morning and
Yeah.
they don't watch a lot of television. They rarely watch TV. They read a lot of books.
We read a lot of
They
books.
read a lot of books.
Exactly.
So tell us about reading and those other resources that would help benefit those to kind of stick to the goal setting piece.
Yeah, so I am so glad you said that. Reading is so important. because it really is going to help you to break out of kind of your thinking and all the things that you've been kind of programmed, I guess, with. And I'm trying to find this app that I want to share with you because it's so phenomenal. And of course, I can't find it right now. But I'll get to it. Hopefully, it'll come up. But yeah, so reading is crazy. So I listen to 5 audiobooks a day, and
Five?
that's been since January 1. And
You,
it's through this app that I'm going to
wow.
tell you about. It's
That's,
incredible. The app is called Headspace.
I've heard
And
of that. I've heard of
and
them.
so for this year so far, I'm on a streak that oh my God, 412 to this date. So let me tell you some of the things that I read and some of the things that are just important. So, um, the Miracle Morning is where a lot of my morning routine came from. So find that book, get it on Audibles, get it somewhere. It's called The Miracle Morning by Hal um, Elrod, which is really key. That's a really good one. The 5 a.m. Club.
What is the 5 a.m. club?
The 5 a.m. Club is really what you just said, is where everyone who is a super mega successful person subscribes to the 5 a.m. Club. You're up by 5 o'clock. You're not, and you have accomplished by 7 what most people haven't accomplished in 8 hours.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's all about having that routine and putting that thing together. And so it's difficult, but it's doable. So take a look at the 5 a.m. Club. I think that's really important. Another one is a book called Start with Why
Oh, I heard
by
about
Simon Singer. Yep, that's a really good book. Particularly when I talked about early on when I said, do you know what your purpose is? What were you created for? What, kind of, why? Why do you, okay. Someone tells me, okay, I want to start this, perfume, business. Why?
why.
You know,
Because
so,
I like the way it smells.
yeah, exactly. So just kind of, that's a good book to have. The 10X Rule is a good one. Grant Cardone, know some of these names. Crushing It is another one by of course, the basic ones, Think and Grow Rich,
Yeah.
The Millionaire Next Door, all of those you should have in your library, have listened to or read. Let me just tell you 2 that were really good for me just in this month of February. One is called Don't Overthink It by
That's a good one.
Anne Bogle. And I'm not even going to get into with it because exactly what the title is
I
what it
like
is.
that.
And I am a person that's super meticulous and I can think things all the way till it's just
Over
so I
anal,
need,
you're,
yeah,
yeah, analyze, yeah,
I needed to
analyze
have
to your,
that one.
what is that? Paralysis by, what is that?
And
Analysis
paralysis by
by
analysis. Yes,
analysis. If
that was
any of you
me.
guys are
That
overthinkers, this, yeah, that will stump you. Don't
it,
worry.
and let me give you one more. And the other one is Get Out of Your Head
Get out of here. Don't
by
worry. I'm
Judy
going to
Allen.
have Sharon compile the list of her books and we're going to post it
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
group because everybody keeps saying, can you repeat this?
Okay, yeah. So they're great books. But yeah, so
We're gonna
making
get it
sure
all.
that you are turning off the TV. Yes, there's shows that you want to watch, but just watch them later, and just spend a time, like on this weekend, I'm going to watch the whole season of whatever, because you rewarded yourself. Don't be, I have friends, that, I have to watch this show. It's Tuesday night and I'm going to watch, or what is it? The Bachelor on Monday or whatever. It's like, you can watch The Bachelor in the
On
fall
demand. On
on
demand.
demand or something. So, and fill that time with reading. And I don't have a lot so I read and I listen. So throughout my day, I have some audiobooks going on, downtime when I'm eating. I'm vegan, and I was sharing with Lisa, part of me and vegan, there's a lot of prep time for our meals. And so I'm listening to an audiobook when I'm, chopping up all those fresh vegetables to get them prepared for the week. And so just little things like that to make your life easy. But also it's just going to add value, because once it's adding value to you, you're going to turn around and that's going to add value to so many other people, which is so incredible.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So for those who are logging in, we are listening to Reverend Sharon tell us her gems and wisdom here about how she manages such a very busy life, but a very accomplished life of setting goals and accomplishing goals and holding ourselves accountable. She talked about a lot about measuring and this whole routine. Routines are important. That's what it seems like. It seems routines seem to be a big part of it. That in order for us to maintain that consistency of progression, that you have to have routines in place. So if you don't have routines, establish routines. That's what she's saying here. Any other questions in here that I want to, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Y'all see everybody's writing notes. Any specific questions? Hi. Yes. Any specific questions you guys have? Audrey or Diane or Christine? Unmute yourself.
Hi. Yes. Hi. Thank you so much, Reverend Sharon. Greatly appreciate you taking your time. Thank you, Sister Lisa, for hosting this. Just what is the name of that app? Headspace?
Uh-huh.
Headspace.
Headspace. Mhm.
Okay. So on the Apple Headspace, and they
Yeah.
have different books. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we'll make sure we get the list of some of the books that, I listed out. We'll just post it in the group. And for you all that are on Facebook that aren't in the group, join the group. Tell
Yeah.
them the name of the group again, Lisa.
Survivors, strivers, and thrivers. They're watching. Anybody that's watching is actually in the group watching
Oh,
it.
they're in the group. Perfect.
They're actually in the group watching it. Survivors, strivers, and thrivers. So you have to be part of the group to actually see it, I believe.
So I'm going to ask, if no one has a question right now, let me ask you. If someone in the group wants to share. Oh, you have a question.
He has a question.
Okay.
Hi, Pastor Sharon, can you hear me?
Yes,
I can.
Hi, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So I got in here a little late, but I've been taking notes like a mad woman since since I got in here. And one of the things when you were talking about the 12-week cycle to plan for 12 full weeks. So can I just use myself as an example?
Absolutely.
So so long story short, I had two thriving businesses on Etsy. And without getting into details, they both are no longer. And so I'm basically kind of got slapped down on the floor and I'm picking myself up by my bootstraps. And I have decided that I really want to take my fine art to a different level. And I really want to do my fine art, and which is what I truly love. That's my passion.
And she's good, very gifted.
Well, thank you. That's part of my problem. I'm really struggling with that. Am I really good enough? That's part of the issue. But I'm just going to keep acting as if. I think that's been my goal right now. I'm just going to act as if and just trust God and really just if it's the right thing, He's going to give me the avenues to do this. But my question, I can see how important routine is. I think that's one of my goals that I'm going to need to make is a routine and have that morning routine in place. But when you were planning, my question basically was, when you're planning that 12-week cycle, what is like a good, like I was trying to write everything down, like prayer and meditate and all of the things that you had along with it. But how many long-term 12-week goals should you try to focus in on during that quarter of the year? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So let me ask you a question before I answer it. So is your business now, the one that you're doing, is it a startup and you know exactly where you
go?
So
I see, this is where I'm at right now. I literally am reimagining my world. Okay. And I'm a mom. I have 2 boys with autism. So the past 20 years of my life have pretty much been devoted to, God gave me those babies. They're miracle babies. Never thought He said I had a 1% chance I'd ever conceive. So I have 2 miracle babies. One is 21 and one is 16 now. And I'm having more time. I'm having more available time to to go back to my art, which was my
Yeah.
love before kiddos. And long story short is I think I would like to actually do paintings and try to sell them, like I did years and years and years ago before children. So that's where I'm at, is like maybe getting into galleries and trying to make a name for myself as a fine artist, which scares me to death.
Okay. No, I hear you. I hear you. So let me just say, that's a lot, and that was some good information to have. So let's just say that you say to yourself, in 6 months, I'm going to have my first showing.
Mhm.
So in 6 months, with 6 months from today, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
by the end of August, I'm going to have my first showing. So that's the goal.
That sounds so scary.
Well, but this is called truth now.
Okay.
Your 12 weeks goal will look like every day,
I'm
what do I
calling
need to
Grace.
do to get to that place? So on
I'm
day
getting on
one,
the phone, I'm calling galleries, and I'm
not
taking
even
measures.
there yet. Not even there yet.
Even there
Your
yet.
first place is so basic. It's, do I have all my supplies? You know, how am I organizing my day? When am I going to paint? When am I going to do administrative things like calling galleries and things like
Mhm.
that? And so now we're filling up days with activities
Okay.
that will get you to that place. Because
Gotcha.
sometimes we get so focused on the end that we don't do the steps in
Okay.
the middle to get us to the end. And then we beat ourselves up at the
Gotcha.
end when we haven't accomplished it. So you need to look at your business strategically and say, okay, this is my goal. I am going to have this accomplished by August. What do I need to do? You know, and
Okay.
you see in
I
the pieces that I'll share in the group, who are the people I need to talk to, the supplies I might need to buy, the
Mhm.
times that I need to break down in my schedule that I'm only painting, I'm only designing. So for a week, the week of, March the 10th through the 20th, I'm not taking phone calls because I'm
Mhm.
painting. So you have to break it down in those snippets for yourself, because
Okay.
you'll get so overwhelmed if you just
Yeah.
look at the big picture. So you're so far away from calling galleries right now
Right.
because you're not ready to talk to them. You don't have
Right.
anything yet. You want
I
to make
don't. Well,
sure everything.
I have artwork. What my problem is I'm a digital artist, so I paint
Okay.
digitally, but it's just like if you were painting with a paintbrush, I'm doing it on my iPad.
Oh, okay.
And so I have been honestly spending the entire pandemic painting, and
Awesome.
I've got stuff, but my next goal is to figure out, because it's expensive to get them printed. It costs a minimum of $100 to get one printed. Probably the average cost is going to be about $250 per painting.
Absolutely.
So I need to figure out a way to find money. I guess my thought was to find a grant, to try to find some artist grants, maybe. I've never done that before. But I know there's art money out there. I'm scared to death. It's like what has kept me completely like just frozen. And I want to move past that and say, what the heck? God, if you want me to do this, I'm just going to give it up to you. I'm going to say, please, if this is what your will is, help me figure out a way. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Well, that goes back to what Sharon
Message in the
said.
group, and I'll direct you to some grant resources specifically.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Because what I didn't tell you is that Sharon also writes grants. She's been doing that
Oh.
for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And what you're suffering from is, I don't know, you must have missed that part. She asked, one of the questions is, what's standing in your way? And it's self-sabotage. So
Yes.
what you're doing is, and Christy, we've talked about this all the time.
Yes. Yes.
That's a big piece of your goal setting, is you have to overcome your fear of failure. And somebody posted in a group, it's called imposter syndrome. Diane's going like this. We all have that. Those of us, it's called imposter syndrome. So read up on it. There's a lot of information out there. Self-sabotage, imposter. Yep, Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly. Yes, we all suffer from that. So some more than others. So you really need to kind of pray on that and really encourage yourself and find some encouragers to get over that part. And
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It's the truth. I'm here.
Well,
You're telling me truth. And
Good.
thank you very much. I didn't mean to monopolize. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's just good stuff. Good stuff. Any other questions? Somebody else had a question out there? Anybody else had a question on the Facebook group? Because I know Sharon was getting ready to share something else with
No,
us.
I actually was going to ask the group to
Oh,
share with us.
okay.
There are I see some names on here, and I see some other powerful women.
Okay.
And so I've shared a lot, and I would love for someone to either put it in the chat, or if they're bold enough to just open up their mic, and just share maybe some things that have worked for you, that will help us all,
Mm-hmm.
to really take our business and our dreams to the next level. I'm so wanting to hear from other people because I see some people on here that are amazing. So one just popped up. Come on, Dr. Ray.
I'll go if that's okay.
Absolutely. Hi. Is that
Hi, thank you for sharing awesome information. I was actually thinking while you were talking about um getting out of your own way, how I was so focused on all the negatives. What if all my what ifs were negative like a year ago?
hmm,
And I'm just to give you a little backstory. So in 2018, I received a grant to teach jewelry making to kids, and I used to teach in Baltimore City. I taught elementary school, and I didn't pass the praxis and lost my job in 2008. So ever since then, I just always had this fear of being rejected in the teaching world. And so I got I applied for several grants over the years, and I got denied. And I've always reached out to other people I know because I always put them on this pedestal, like, yeah, they're gonna help me because they'll look it over and they could tell me what I did wrong. And every year I applied, I never got the grant. The one grant in 2018, I did not get a chance to get anybody to look it over. It was accepted. And I was so shocked because I didn't give myself enough credit that I could do it on my own without anybody's help. And when I got the grant, there were so many things that just weren't in alignment, and I was just pushing it. Everything I did, and we had to have business insurance, and I was trying to get the business insurance, and that was being rejected. And they're like, "Well, we don't know if you're going to use the grant money to make jewelry for yourself," and that going through all the liabilities. It was crazy. So, long story short, I never got the actual money in 2018 or 2019. And so they rescinded the grant. And they told me in the summer of 2019 that they're going to do year 2 of the grant. So it's a possibility that if I, get a new fiscal sponsor and get myself together, then I'll be able to get the funding that I need. But I was so in my way still. And I think that was God just like giving me that nudge because I kept saying, how can I work full time? I'm in school working on my master's and do a program. It's my passion. It's all I want to do is teach jewelry. That's it. And I had all these excuses I was giving God. And then the pandemic happened. I got laid off and everything fell in place. And I finally got to just surrender and say, I can't do this by myself. And God just sent me so many people who didn't ask questions, didn't judge. They were working on my behalf. And everything came through, and I was able to finally launch the program last fall. And of course, it ended up being a virtual program, which I'm like, I don't know technology. I don't know how it's going to work. And when I tell you everything worked out so well, those kids were blessed and the work that they produced. So when you talk about getting out of your own way, like for the past 30, what, probably 30 days or so, I've been fasting from negative thoughts because that is one of the main things that get me in my own way. Just like all my what ifs are so negative. And so I've been really just trying to stay in a positive zone and get out of my own way. 'Cause that's a big deal. It translates to everything in life, not just business. It's just all around. everything is flourishing. Just getting out of my own way.
That is a powerful, powerful testimony. And
Yes.
it's important for these kinds of forums
Thank you.
because you're not alone. We've all have been there. And if we haven't, we're going into there. So it's great to hear you've come out on the other side of it. So thank you for sharing that. It's powerful. Anybody else want to share some nuggets for us?
Sure, I'll share. Hi.
Twin. Hey,
So
twin.
that is my mom. And my name is
you.
Kimberly. I am, hi guys. So I am the owner of web design and branding company called Wonderfully Made. I am also a software tester and developer by day, and I'm working on my master's. One nugget that I want to give you guys that I have had to overcome is the self-sabotage and imposter syndrome. I have dealt with that for a very long time, being an African American woman in IT. I'm questioned from all sides. On my day job, I am the only woman and the only Black person on my team. So there is a lot that I have to do to make sure that I am successful in the eyes of my coworkers who are all white males. There are no other females on my team. So it's literally, I'm representing both females and African American people. But even in my business, it was like, am I good enough to be a web designer? Am I good enough to create people's brands? And that was always a question in the back of my mind. And it was like, in 2020, I'm like, why? Why do I question myself? What can I do to overcome this imposter syndrome? And then it hit me. Throughout my life, throughout my career, throughout my business, there are testimonials that people have given for me and for my work that validate what it is that I do. When you are looking for that confidence booster, think about all the people who support you, all the people who say, I've worked with this person. This person is phenomenal. This person is awesome. This person knows what they are doing. Because it's not then you questioning yourself, it's you knowing based on the service and the job that you're doing for other people that you're doing the right thing and that you know what you're doing. And once I realized that, it took me to a different level. And it's like, I can do anything for anyone because everyone knows how good I am. So definitely think about that because that is one of the things that I learned during the pandemic and relaunching my business in 2020 because everybody said, hey, it's a pandemic. I want to work for myself. I need a website. I need a brand. So that worked out for me. But it's we all deal with that. We all deal with the self-sabotage. And it's like, we don't want to look to other people for validation, but we also have to accept when we are awesome and when we are amazing. So definitely make sure that you remember that and use that as encouragement when you move forward and as you're going throughout, your life and your business. That's it.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Wow, wow, wow.
Awesome. Listen, you know what? The apple don't fall far from the tree.
Amen to that.
All I can say is wow, wow, wow.
Apple don't fall far from the tree. Anybody else want to share what their goals are with Sharon and talk about some things that you can before we wind it down? This was a good session. I really love the feedback. Anybody else? Anybody had any specific? Oh, okay. Kim liked it. Okay, good, Kim. I'm glad you gave me your approval. It's we all are on the same journey. So Sharon, how do you want to wrap this session up? Other things that you leave us with something that we can walk away with based on what you heard, what you think, and what we're doing.
I just go back to my place of gratitude, walking, you know, just living in that space really gives you a whole different vision of the world, and of people. And just like Kimberly said, we're surrounded by people who are our cheerleaders if we just allow them to be that. And we allow ourselves to receive it, because oftentimes we hear it, but we don't let it come in. It's like, oh, girl, but no, embrace that, embrace who you are. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, and just know that you are enough. You are a woman of God, and that you are powerful, and walk in your own truth. Don't be ashamed of who you are. And I would love, love, love for you all to join me on the journey of commanding your day. And I'll be more than happy to type out the steps and type out the morning routine and put it and post it in the group, because it's such a powerful place to be. Because let me just give you some examples of kind of my old life. My old life would, every time the ding would go off for a text message, I would have to look at my phone. Or every time the phone rang, I would have to answer the phone. Or every time, blah 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 blah. All these external things. But in the way that I operate and move now, I don't even have a ding on my phone. I don't have alerts. I don't do any of that. None of my um, gadgets control my life.
Wow.
My goals control my life. My plan controls my life. And so you can't respond to a text message immediately. You
Yeah.
can't always be there to answer someone's call immediately, because if they weren't on your 5 people to talk to today, and if they're not a part of the power words of the plan, then you fit them in when you fit them in, or they
Okay.
get in where you fit in. So you really have to, and that's what I mean when I say command your day, because oftentimes we let all these outside things in because we're so nice and so accommodating. And then we look up, it's February 20th, and we haven't done a damn thing because we've done all this other extraneous stuff that didn't stick with what we planned. So I just encourage you to dive in the group, look at some of the things that we'll be posting, and let's just start this dialogue. Let Lisa coach you. I have a strong desire. I guess it's a part of my purpose as well, to see everybody win in whatever their endeavor is. And my daughter will tell you, Kimberly was my daughter, the one that was speaking. I'm probably her biggest cheerleader. Why? Because not only because she's my daughter, but my mom was my biggest cheerleader. So it's sort of like this whole legacy. And Lisa and I met, and I'm Lisa's biggest cheerleader. Lisa's mine. There are other women that are on here that I absolutely adore. Dr. Ray, Gloria Allen, Virginia. There's so many women that have given in my life, and all I want to do is give back to them, so we all can win and enjoy. Some of us have traveled and, been on beaches of the world. So, and we also have been in the trenches, giving back, serving in soup kitchens and those kinds of things. So that's what it's all about, community. And I just love, love, love me some Lisa. She is a call that I take. It's sort of like, when Lisa calls, you move. She has such a powerful influence and impact, because she just wants to, I think we just are kindred spirits in that, wanting to see women thrive.
Yeah.
Because we all, we want to get out of that victim mode and that survival mode, and
Mhm.
want to be thriving so we can give back and be a powerful force in our community. Because this is the year of the woman.
It sure is.
It sure is. Started on January, whatever it was, 11th.
Woman for
Yeah.
sure. Look at the vice president and the young lady who gave her speech.
Yeah.
The
This is our time, lady.
Gorman. Oh wow, that was powerful. Thank you so much, Sharon. I don't even know what to say. I can't even say. I'm speaking, and I've known you for so many years, and I've known all of you guys. I'm meeting new Dr. Ray. Welcome, Gloria Allen, Virginia Green, my new friends. Welcome. I love meeting new people, and all my Facebook friends. I hope you guys got a lot out of what Sharon has to say. You can reach out to her on Facebook if you're interested in their business. Tell me the name of your business again, Sharon. Solutions Matter.
Solutions matter. Yeah, I'm on
And
Instagram, Facebook, all those things. Yeah.
Yep, so it's and they're looking for, if you're looking for also other streams of income, passive streams of income, which is all what we're talking about, reach out to her about that. And there's other things that we're going to do. So nice to meet you too, Dr. Ray. So we are going to wrap this up tonight. I just hope that you guys took a lot of notes. Sharon's going to post in the group the books and the apps that she was talking about. This was a wonderful opportunity. I'm glad that you guys are getting something out of it. This is your year. Audrey, Christine, Rosa, I see all you guys. I know you all personally. For those who I don't know personally, I'll get to know. I just see great things happening for all you guys. I just hope that this community thrives and continues, that we go from survival mode to thrivers. By the end of this year, we're all gonna be thrivers, all right? We're gonna walk this journey together, right? Yeah, we got it, right? So I wish you all the best this evening. Take the rest of the evening on, get a glass of wine, write your plan out before you start turning on TV. Make sure you start writing your plan out and do all the things that Sharon talked about. Don't go on that television. Binge watch. Write that plan out and get ready to start it in the morning. All right. Thank you all. I love you. God bless. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys.
Take care.
Buddy.
Bye.
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 Bye. God bless.
Thank you so much.
God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
You
Have a
as
good one.
well.
Stay
It's great
safe.
to meet you, Audrey.
Thank you. It's good to meet you as well.
Audrey's,
All right.
you know, all y'all my sisters in Christ. Audrey's and I go to church in New York together. Christine
Oh.
and I went to celebrate recovery together at my church. You know, I'm all connected with you guys spiritually.
Mhm.
I love it.
That's
Awesome.
great.
Sisters in Christ.
Absolutely.
All right. Take care, ladies.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks.
And